Hello, sorry about the long wait, everybody. I was shitting out my doo-doo ass. But we're here now for a somewhat impromptu Saturday stream, because I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow because I am working late tomorrow. So we're doing this today, and we are going to be starting Death Battle Season 3. Actually, hold on, let me put out my tweet announcing this, because I don't think there's anyone here right now. And these streams work best if there are actual people watching. Where were we? Right. So, go this out the way and put all this up. Not that. There we go. Okay. So, we just finished Season 2. Alright, hold on. I gotta get me up there. Where am I? Gaming? True, you're just in time. We're about to start. There I am. Okay. Funny Rock is here. Alright, oh, I need to turn on Twitch chat as well. Alright. So last time, we finished Season 2. We're now on to Season 3. What myself and many others refer to as the Growing Pains season. Because this is the first one to have an actual structure. So it will have less episodes. We can probably get through this one in about half the amount of streams it took us for Season 2. It's also considered by many people, myself included, to be the weakest season. But at the very least, it does start off with
this episode of Death
Dante
Battle is brought
versus
to you by
Bayonetta.
Angry Video Game Nerd 2, Estimulation. Pre-order on Steam right now to save 10%.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
get the soundtrack free.
Also, let me know if the volume's good, as usual.
For some action heroes, it's not enough to just save the world. They've got to look good doing it. Dante, the
So yeah, I mean,
Devil
this just makes sense as a matchup.
And it's
Like,
our job to
of
analyze
course.
their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Seems fine? Okay, good. Yeah, let me know if,
Take a walk down Slum
like,
Avenue.
one or
You'll
the
find
other is
all
completely
sorts of hangouts
overpowering.
for the scum of the underworld. The Bullseye Bar, a random strip club, and even a rundown service shop called Devil May Cry. But the services they're selling aren't like washing your car or fixing your plumbing. Oh no! Long as you got the cash, this shop specializes in delivering demonic beatdowns. Who's crazy enough to try making a living this way, you ask? His name is Dante. From the very beginning, Dante's life was always unusual. Born from the unholy union of a
I've
human
not
mother and a
played
demon
either
father,
Devil
Dante
May
and his
Cry
twin brother Virgil had their
or
first
Bayonetta,
supernatural encounter at the
but
young
I've heard
age
very
of
good things
8.
about both. I
Yeah,
know
see, his demon dad was a badass
I have
who
friends who have
single-handedly
played
conquered the underworld and imprisoned
either
the
of
demon
them,
Emperor Mundus. But
and the
after
lore
Dad
of
died,
both is
Mundus'
really
minions
cool.
felt brave enough to take some revenge by slaughtering his family, leaving Dante an orphan. Bummer. Hate it when that happens. With his mother gone and his brother soon dead, Dante was
I've
left
heard
with only one option.
mixed
Become the
things about
ultimate demon
DMC4.
hunter
Like,
and
it's not bad,
perpetuate
but
the
it
cycle
has
of
some
vengeance.
kind of frustrating design decisions.
Despite the dangerous
Stellar
nature of his
editing.
occupation,
Yeah,
Dante
from what I've
always
heard,
maintains
DMC4 is
a
like,
carefree spirit while dispatching devils
it's
of the underworld.
cool, and the combat is really good, but like there's some stuff with the progression that's weird. Oh, video's slightly quiet.
Man enough to shake off being stabbed through the chest.
All right, how about
Every
now?
goddamn day. That's thanks to his regenerative ability. In fact, all of that is made possible due
There
to
we
his
go.
demonic
Awesome.
heritage, and made even more deadly by his plethora of weapons. His favorites being his dual pistols and enormous sword. Like any proud weapon owner, he gives his tools of destruction pet names. His guns, Ebony and Ivory, specialize in long-range shots and rapid-fire barrages, respectively. These hand cannons are so powerful, they can each obliterate demons in a single shot.
I think that look suits you better.
Rebellion is a large magical sword given to him by his pops, which can cut any demon down to size in the blink of an eye. He's also got his brother's sword, Yamato, which can cut through dimensions.
I mean,
Throughout his adventures,
you probably
Dante also
shouldn't have
collected a
that,
wide assortment
but
of
sure, why
additional
not?
weaponry called devil arms, physical manifestations of powerful demons he has defeated. Remember Mega Man? It's that, but on steroids. His armored Gilgamesh gauntlets increase his striking power, letting him shatter huge monoliths with a lethal 1-inch punch. With Lucifer, the backpack, not the devil, Dante basically throws infinite lightsabers. He's also got an electric guitar, which is literally electric. Ice-powered nunchucks, grenade
I should also
launchers,
mention this
shotguns,
is,
and I kid you not, a
as with
briefcase
most
that
Death
can
Battle
transform
stuff, this
into
is an older episode, so
666
this is
different weapons, ranging from a giant Beyblade to a flying
DMC
turret
5 and
gun. Where does
Bayonetta
he
3.
possibly keep all this stuff? Really
So
deep
Dante
pockets.
does not have his cool
Or perhaps
motorcycle,
it's one of his
unfortunately.
styles, abilities he's also acquired
Or his
from
hat
defeating demon bosses.
that he can
With
attack
doppelganger
with.
style, he can duplicate himself. With trickster style, he can teleport instantly. With royal guard style, he becomes a nigh impervious dreadnought, and he can even slow down time with the quicksilver style. On the rare occasion Dante feels he needs to get serious, he enters the Devil Trigger, a transformation which taps into his demonic heritage to unleash his true devil form. Devil Trigger dramatically increases his strength, speed, and healing power, and he can fly! Being
Yeah,
so well
it's-
armed,
it's
Dante is more than
kind
capable
of difficult
handling
with
entire hordes of
characters
demons
like
on his
Dante,
own, although
because he
this
just
doesn't
has
stop some
so
of his allies
much
from joining in
stuff.
from time to time. This includes Trish, a
Yeah.
demon lady who occasionally fights alongside him, and happens to resemble his deceased mother. Talk about giving somebody an Oedipus complex. Hey, if I may quote an old family saying, if she's not directly related, she's safe to be dated. That explains a lot.
It's kind of hard to like
Luckily, and
go
quite
through
surprisingly, that
his
avenue was never explored. Thank
character
God.
all that
Dante
much.
is a
Then again,
walking,
Dante's
talking,
not
feet-achieving
particularly a
machine.
deep
One time,
character,
after
so
getting impaled by 4 demons at once, he pushed one so hard it exploded and dropped a ceiling fan on the other 3, all while eating a slice of pizza. Oh, and when their friends showed up, he challenged them to a game of billiards. He won. Dante has run down the side of a building so fast he caught fire, similar to a spacecraft re-entering the atmosphere at approximately 17,000 miles per hour. And he's even capable of taking out others just as overpowered as himself.
Like
Yeah.
his brother Virgil, who was not dead.
I mean,
but
obviously he's not just like he has like a bunch of like dark shit that he's going through, but he's also just, you know, he's a silly guy.
In space.
You may be asking yourself, can anything stop this guy? Yes, Dante does have a limit to how much punishment he can take, but if there's anything that could take him down, it's his own cocky attitude.
In the words of the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, there is no greater danger than underestimating your opponent.
I'm gonna have to disagree with old Lousy here. Pretty sure there's no greater danger than telling a woman those pants do in fact make her ass look fat. You bastard!
And jackpot.
Man, Dante's so cool.
From the angels of Paradiso to the demons of Inferno, there is a name feared by both the light and the dark, and her name is Bayonetta.
Oh yeah, that's still not out yet.
To any normal guy walking down the street, she may look like your average 7-foot-tall gargantuan Amazon woman.
She's
with good
7'7".
Bayonetta is actually one
I
of
knew
the
Bayonetta
last
was
Umbra
tall,
witches,
but
a clan of
sheesh.
mystics allied with demon kind.
Named Cereza upon birth, she spent her early
Oh
life
yeah, this
growing
is
up
mild
an
spoilers
outcast
for
due
like
to
the
her
first
parents being
Bayonetta
from
game, I
rival
guess.
clans. Her father, a Lumen Sage, and her mother, an Umbra Witch.
See, the sages and witches had one rule to follow. Don't make babies with the opposite clan because, according to prophecy, it would bring on the destruction of the universe. So, naturally, it was only a matter of time before somebody couldn't keep it in their pants. Pulling out works every time, but the last time.
You would know. With the pact now broken, war ensued between the two factions. In the end, only two witches survived, Cereza and her rival/future friend, Jean. Hoping to prevent the apocalypse, Jean used a special dagger to seal away Cereza's memories and put her into a 500-year-long coma.
When Cereza woke up from her epic power nap, she took on her new name.
Oh yeah,
Bayonetta,
the soundtracks
and set
are
out to find her
amazing
lost
in these
memories.
games.
Luckily for her, she had just the right weapon for the job. Her
Like,
hair.
As an
I'm not
Umbra witch,
that
not only does
big
her
of a
hair
fan
serve as her
of
clothing,
I'm
Bayonetta
having a
in
really
Smash,
hard time deciding whether or not that's
but
hot
having Bayonetta
or
music in
just
Smash
disgusting.
is
she can also use it to summon
Top
the demon
tier.
Madama Butterfly to aid her in battle. This technique, the Wicked Weaves, creates portals for the giant demon to deliver devastating punches and kicks.
Bayonetta can also walk on walls and ceilings with Witch Walk, and even transform into animals to fly, run super fast, and dodge attacks.
But her most useful technique is Witch Time. By slowing down time itself, Bayonetta can dodge practically anything while unleashing a barrage of attacks.
Bayonetta
I think
is
this-
basically a tall, sexy armory. She
This
wields
might have
gauntlets
also
called
been
Durga,
before
which
Bayonetta
attack
got in
with fire and
Smash,
electricity, a
is when
huge
this
sight
episode
that
came out.
rots
I think
the
she was,
souls
like-
of its victims,
she
and
might
a
have been
freaking
announced
lightsaber
by
called
this
Pillar
point, but
Dog.
wasn't
She has
released
a bow
yet.
that fires poison arrows, a chainsaw made of dragon scales, a massive hammer that can cause earthquakes with every strike, and even ice skates, which attack with ice, obviously.
But her most beloved weapons are her 4-pistol set called Love is Blue. Rather than swap between them like a normal person, she somehow manages to wield all of them at once by using not only her hands,
That
but
would be
also her
interesting.
feet.
Like
How
how,
does that work?
I'm
Does she
trying to
have,
think how
like,
that
some
would
kind of
work,
weird
because,
bones on her ankles or something?
like, all of their
Not gonna be
powers
bad,
work
just
by
like
having
just a bit. Oh my god!
a bunch
She's
of
covered in
people.
hair, and she uses her feet like hands. She's a monkey. Monkey witch.
This is awkward.
I highly doubt that. She probably just uses some sort of magic.
Wonder Red versus
Speaking of
Olimar.
magic,
There we
when
go.
Bayonetta wants to unleash her full potential, she triggers her Umbran
Except
Climax,
Olimar's like
which increases
centimeter
her
tall or
strength and
something
lets
like
her
that.
Summon Madama Butterfly's full unrestrained power. When fully unleashed, Madama Butterfly can shatter huge meteors by headbutting them.
Climax. By herself, Bayonetta has pulled off some impressive feats. She's strong enough to kick military jets into the air, headbutt skyscrapers across the city, and even throw satellites with her legs. in
I mean,
outer
then
space.
yeah, then they have to like.
Oh, by the way, she can survive outer space.
Using Witch Time, she was able to defeat this
Then-
thing in only a matter of
Then they
real-time
have to
seconds.
like adjust
without which time,
all
her
their
reaction speed is
calculations to
astronomical.
be tiny.
For
It's
example,
weird.
When a Lumen Sage stopped time to position newly fired bullets about 3 feet behind her, she managed to not only turn and identify the incoming threat, but also dodge all 16 of them. Considering regular bullets travel around 2,500 feet per
let's
second,
check
she
the
must have
Googles to
pulled
see
all
if-
that off in less than 1,000th of a second.
And then there's that one time when she killed God. You know, by scissoring
If
her hair with
people have
guns
any
and punching
ideas.
the creator's soul across the entire solar system into the sun?
Okay, obviously Bayonetta's feats and abilities are absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, I'm
but
seeing
she is
Beautiful
sometimes
Joe
rather
as, like,
inconsistent.
Despite her reaction
the
time,
big
she's been
matchup,
caught off
which
guard
I
by
guess
enemies
makes sense.
ranging from a half-god called Lobster, or something like that, and even a plant monster that managed to grab her out of the air.
But regardless of whatever weaknesses she may have, Bayonetta's achieved more than anyone could possibly imagine despite being
Wonder Blue versus
100%
Polnareff?
human.
That seems
Wait,
interesting.
She is human? Dibs.
All right, let's dance, baby.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, we made another video game, and it sure would be swell if you buy it.
That's cool, I don't care though.
Fast fucking race on stuff in the sound.
It's just called a chapel,
Another
dude.
wandering lost soul, I see.
Whoa. Lost? Nah. I'm looking for something called a left eye. Care to give me a hand? Could be fun.
I see. But if you're looking for the left eye, that would either make you an angel. Or a demon. Get back!
I hope the bitrate's okay for this one. It is a bit fast.
Take this! Shoot slow.
Yeah.
What a disappointing finish.
It's just a shame that there's like a lot of physics
Is
objects.
that all you got,
Like all-
sister?
Bayonetta's like frills.
Ah, looks like you're more of a man than I thought.
Come on.
No touching. What?
Haven't used this in a while. Still got it.
I also
In the
like
money.
I like the effect where both of the time slows are going on at the same time
You're a
with
naughty
the
boy
colors.
hitting a girl like that. You need to be taught a lesson.
Cheers.
Now this is what I'm talking about.
If you like that, you're gonna love this.
The little button prompt.
Phew. Your breath stinks.
Like that is literally what Dante would say. They got that part perfect. She does say avocado, doesn't she?
This is where we part ways, love.
After you.
Dante!
Trish. You missed.
Oh, don't be a baby. Let's finish her off. Jean, Cereza, having some guy trouble?
Yeah,
Not
this
to
this
worry.
this
I
is a
got this one
real
handled.
fun fight.
Wait, we're getting paid for this one, right?
Come on.
This is gonna hurt! Bye-bye!
What's wrong? Can't keep up?
And they're switching weapons and using all like so much of their kits. It's so good.
Where did you get
And of
that
course,
outfit? A thrift store?
because
You're
Bayonetta
one to
is
talk.
involved.
That color looks terrible on you. Bitch!
Trish!
They have to
Best
fight
pay
on the
attention,
falling
boy.
clock. But
Pretty or not, don't fuck with a witch. No, that's not possible. Not possible.
Bullseye. How come I never meet any nice girls?
and he just leaves the sword in.
Date ever.
Yeah,
It's
they even lost their friends. I think. What happened to Trish and John? Are they still fighting?
Well, I'll
Yeah.
show you how I think it went down in my new show, DBS.
Oh yeah, so
Wait, what?
this part
Did you actually do
So-
analysis on your own?
they
Hell no. I'm just gonna
this
make
is
'em
like
fight.
a smaller
you
like
would.
sideshow that they
And what
did
actually matters,
DBX,
it's true that Bayonetta's satellite throwing
where
feat
it's
trumps
just
any
there's
and
no
all of
research, just
Dante's
cool
physical
fight
displays of
animations.
strength. However, Dante edges out in every other
At
category.
His
first,
arsenal matched and exceeded
it
Bayonetta's
was
blow for
meant
blow.
to like
Hell, even a
they
giant
used it as an
demon like
opportunity to
Madonna
kind of show
Butterfly
off
has nothing to
some
do to this
more
demon
like
slayer
amateur
for hire.
animators,
But most of all,
let them
Bayonetta
kind of show
didn't
off,
have many ways to actually
which
kill her.
resulted
I
in
mean,
some
the dude
very
slugs out mortal wounds every day like they
spotty
were nothing more than
quality.
bug bites. Both could take a bullet, but unlike Dante,
But
when Bayonetta
I mean
stabbed,
later on
it
and like
hurts.
nowadays
That's why
when they
avoiding
do
attacks was
DBX
their
episodes
specialty.
now,
But
it
she
is
could
it is
only
pretty
dodge
good.
for so long against somebody like Dante. Early in their careers, Dante and Virgil obliterated each and every raindrop within a 12-foot radius, briefly
Oh yeah, this
creating a
calculation's
completely open
insane.
space in a rainstorm. Up to 30 raindrops can occupy a cubic foot on average, meaning they destroyed 108,000 raindrops in less than a second, without any extra abilities or styles. Even with Bayonetta's absurd reaction speed, Dante striking so much space in so little time far outclasses anything she has ever had to avoid.
Even when she tried
And I mean
avoiding
nowadays
them
with
which
how
time,
we understand
Dante's
Devil May
Quicksilver
Cry
evened
scaling,
the playing field.
yeah, Dante
Basically
easily
making it
takes
useless.
this.
It was just a matter of time before Bayonetta suffered the fatal blow.
Well, you know what they say. Hair today, gone tomorrow.
The winner is Dante.
Alright.
Next
Alright.
time on
So I hope
Death
you liked
Battle.
that, because that's the high point of the season. Yeah. But hey, look, it's Bowser. And I think for this season, they start doing, they would announce one of the characters at the end of the fight, and then the week after they would announce the second one. But this is Bowser versus Ganon, which at this point was a matchup I had personally been wanting for a while. And it's cool. Like, it's Bowser and Ganon.
These two are certainly among the top tier in their trade.
Bowser, the king of the Koopas.
And Ganon, the Demon King.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Once upon a time, a giant turtle had a dream. He would conquer the Mushroom Kingdom by turning everyone in it into brick.
And Bowser's such a
But one
weird
pesky
character to do
princess
for
had the
something
gall
like
to
this.
undo his mystical masonry.
Naturally,
Because his
King
abilities are,
Bowser
like,
Koopa had only one sense of
very
logic. He
strange.
snatched her up and locked her away in his castle. No, not that
The
castle,
man is
but
illiterate.
that
I can't
castle.
believe it.
Because what's a little kidnapping when you've already morphed thousands of innocents into brick?
With the princess out of the picture, Bowser finally had it all. Until two pesky portly plumbers popped up out of nowhere and procured his petulant princess.
Nice job on that alliteration.
I'm surprised you know what alliteration means.
Of course, my conspicuous co-host. Anyway, if there's one thing to say about Bowser, it's that he never gives up. He's always hatching a new scheme for domination with his army, and you know it's going to involve some princess pilfering.
And not only is he tenacious, but he's also incredibly tough.
Probably due to his natural turtliness.
That's not a real word, but you are correct. Bowser's seemingly indestructible shell can take an insane amount of abuse, as can the rest of him, really.
Not only that, but his shell's great for doling out damage. Probably because
I
of
appreciate the
Impale
amount of
Man
Bowser's
sized
inside story
spikes,
footage they're
which he
using.
can shoot out of a shell like a goddamn cannon.
That's a
Bowser also
good-ass
fights with his
game.
razor-sharp teeth and claws, and is capable of lifting and throwing massive amounts of weight.
He could probably even lift your mother, Wiz.
May!
Lord knows I couldn't. He's also got a bunch of weapons to throw around, like hammers, spike balls, and Mecha Koopas, all from the safety of the happiest flying machine ever, the Koopa Clown Copter. Is that spelled with C's or K's?
An impressive airborne vehicle which can somehow drop ammunition exactly the size of itself. Probably via some kind of magic.
Oh yeah, have we mentioned that this is a magic turtle? He can breathe fire like a dragon, shapeshift into anything, and even grow at will to be as big as a castle, which is also a transformer. You think he can grow his...
No, I don't want to think about it. Have you seen a turtle penis? They're horrifying.
I haven't. Why have you?
Science. Anyway, with his size increase,
As
comes
weird
a
as it is, I do
tremendous
like the
boost
turtle
in
penis
power.
joke.
Not only can he fight a castle, he can pick the whole thing up and throw it.
He's tough enough to survive lava of any temperature, even when it melts off his skin. He's withstood a point-blank supernova and being sucked into a black hole multiple times.
And consider, a black hole is a complete compression of space and time which stretches anything apart.
That disclaimer's
even
not
light
going away
itself.
till we get to season
You think
4.
with all
I'm
this
sorry.
awesome power, Bowser can take over the Mushroom Kingdom, like,
And even
no
then, I
problem.
might put it back up for
Except
some
he's an
episodes in,
idiot.
like,
He's constantly underestimating
season
his opponents.
8,
He builds
I
traps
think.
in his castles, which always end up being
I don't
used
know, I'll need to
against
put
him.
it back
And
up when
to
they
top
talk
it all
about,
off, he's illiterate.
Zuko
Still,
from
with
Avatar.
his incredible ferocity
If
and
you've seen
brute
that
force,
episode, you
it's
know
no
what I'm
wonder
talking
Bowser
about.
strikes fear across the Mushroom Kingdom.
Until they all get together for go-karting or some tennis.
Take it from me, Boomstick. You can't always be the bad guy.
Okay.
The peaceful kingdom of Hyrule is full of hidden terrors.
I don't
Giant
know.
spiders, a dragon who eats
She ate
rock
something
people,
really
And
spicy.
that red-headed
That's how
fairy with
cartoons
boobs that'll
work.
poke your eyes out and a laugh that can melt any erection.
But the most dangerous fiend of all is the
Don't
Demon
understand.
King, Ganon.
What madness is this?
became a giant blue pig demon, Ganon was actually just a man named Ganondorf.
Ganondorf was raised in the Gerudo Desert as a student of magic.
He's
under the
7'6".
tutelage of the Twin Rova witches.
Damn,
But while
he's
the
an inch
Gerudo
shorter
got
than
some
Bayonetta.
pretty kick-ass music, growing up in the desert obviously
Still
wasn't
very
the best,
tall.
Because, you know, sand. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets
Ganon
Don't
vs.
you
Dracula
fucking
is
dare.
very good. We won't be getting there until
Unfortunately for
later.
Ganondorf and our viewers, his destiny would
and
take
this
him
one is
beyond the sand.
Not
See,
as
turns
good.
out he's the reincarnation of the demon Demise, who happens to be the root of all evil.
Like,
because what else would you
I-
grow up to be with a name like that?
I'm watching through all of these to like do a
Upon his
ranking
defeat, Demise
of
cursed
all
the
of
blood
the
of goddess and the
episodes.
spirit of the hero
So
to be
I'm
forever
very
plagued by a
curious
physical
how
embodiment
it's all
of his
gonna
rage.
Wow, that's
how it's
some
all gonna
hardcore
turn
shit.
out at the
Talk
end
about
of
a
it.
sore loser.
But Ganon
for
vs.
Ganondorf
Dracula
being
is
the Lord
probably
of
going to be in the
Demons
top
Reborn
10,
has its
if not the
upsides,
top
like
5.
being really good at magic.
Among the numerous spells he knows, he can summon phantoms to fight alongside him, freeze enemies with waves of darkness, cast deadly curses, teleport, fly, and create orbs of electric energy which can stop foes in their tracks.
I like how they had
And
to
they
use
double
footage
as a
from the
deadly
Zelda
game of
cartoon
Pong.
for that one
Also, he's a master
shot of
swordsman,
him teleporting.
capable of wielding 2 blades at once with extreme efficiency. But being the king of all evil with awesome skills wasn't enough.
That Lucina
Ganondorf
player
proved
sucks,
jealous of
bro.
Hyrule's prosperity and, like any good reincarnation of pure evil, wanted to take it for
He got hit by
himself,
raw Warlock
including the
Punch,
Triforce,
SMH.
a legendary relic said to grant the wish of any who may touch it.
But when it was finally within his grasp, 2 of its pieces rejected him harder than Wiz's last date. However, the one that stuck around, the Triforce of Power, was kind of the best. It gave him near invulnerability, incredible strength, and unlimited mystical power. Its
Do
only
you speak from
downside,
experience
or
on that
upside,
front?
depending on how you see it, is that it turned him into a giant demon pig.
With this form came immense power and a new name, Ganon.
I understand.
Everything's better with bacon.
Ganon is fast enough to dodge arrows point blank without even looking. He's strong enough to destroy stone walls and pillars with no effort, and he's tough enough to get back up after having an entire castle fall on him. But while the Triforce of Power
I like how
supposedly
they're
grants
like,
him immortality,
Bowser
Ganon
can like
can still
survive
be
a black
slain,
hole,
and
and
is
like,
specifically
whoa,
vulnerable to holy
Ganon's
weapons
so
like the Master
strong,
Sword.
he can
He
destroy
has survived
a
being impaled by
wall.
one, and then killed his executioner with his bare hands. He's also extremely arrogant, often underestimating his smaller, weaker opponents. At least until they drive a sword through his head.
But hey, when you're a titanic, invulnerable pig sorcerer, you can afford to be a bit cocky.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle! Boss style.
I will say, I like the lighting in this. Yeah, the finale of Wind Waker is really good. The fact that the finishing move on Ganon is so brutal in Wind Waker still, like, surprises me. Like, nothing else in Zelda, I think, matches stabbing a sword through Ganon's face. Also, I don't think that's how the Triforce works. Guys, it's a JoJo reference. Do you get it? It's a JoJo reference. It's the carry. It's the do-do-do from JoJo. What year is this made? It was like God, 2015, 14, 15, I want to say. Yeah, regardless of my thoughts on this episode, the tennis racket is very nice. It's a good addition. Oh, well, there that goes. You... Vor. There's Vor, chat. Then he died. The end.
KO! That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Bowser may have had the
Yeah.
advantage of brute strength, but Ganon's deadlier magic and superior intellect won out in the end.
Ganon had his fair share of bronze
Yeah.
as well, but what really counts is his ability to form a strategy and plan of attack.
Regardless of intelligence, both Bowser and Ganon were nearly invulnerable to typical means of harm. Ganon could only be killed by holy weapons like the Master Sword and Silver Arrows, so while Bowser could hurt him, he couldn't exactly kill him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bowser
I'll
could
let the
survive almost
conclusion
anything.
play.
Almost. In New
Because
Super Mario Bros. DS, after falling into some kind of super lava, it's gotta be since he survived molten tips before unscathed, he became Dry Bowser. And after a strong enough impact, not even his own magic could reassemble his body.
You can even see the light missing in his
this
eyes.
is the
So
reason
in this case,
people
for all intents and
are
purposes,
kind of
Bowser was dead
iffy
by magic and
on
force.
this episode
With Ganon's unlimited pool of magic
because,
power,
like,
he not only
oh,
cursed
Ganon
Bowser's
can only
body
be
to
killed
decay
by
like he
holy
did the Deku
weapons.
Tree, but also blasted him apart with enough force to never
and
surpass that fall in the castle.
Ganon had this fight
Bowser,
more
like
locked
they say,
down.
Bowser can
The
survive
winner
like
is
a
Ganon.
black hole, and then they're like, oh, but he died by super lava, so that
Next
means
time
Ganon can
on
totally
Death
kill
Battle.
him. It's weird. I like the tennis scene though.
My name's Ratchet. What do I call you? What? Maybe I'll just call you Clank.
Hey everybody, I'm Chad.
I forgot that there was a Ratchet and Clank movie. Do y'all remember that? Because that was like part of the reason they did the next fight, was because the Ratchet and Clank movie was coming out 7 years ago. So that would have been, wait, fuck, 2016. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that is true. But, like, I don't know. It feels, this one's still weird. Not as good as Dante versus Bayonetta or Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter. Spoilers. This episode's also very good. But, I mean, yeah, of course it's the two like duos of PlayStation characters, where one of them is an orange furry thing.
Sometimes the most unlikely of friends can become the best of heroes.
Ratchet and Clank, the Cosmic Commandos.
And Jak
That is
and
fair,
Daxter, the masters
since they
of
were
Eco.
kind of doing a
He's where's
composite
my
Bowser.
boomstick?
And it's
They
our
did,
job
like,
to
bring up
analyze their
Paper Mario
weapons, armor,
stuff.
and skills to find out who would win a death battle. It was a time of chaos. The unstoppable Cragmite Empire
Yeah,
wreaked
I mean,
havoc
I feel
across
like
the galaxy
these are the series,
until
like,
a race of
if you
unlikely
grew up
heroes
with,
fought back.
like, a
The
PlayStation 2,
Lombaxes.
these
Who
were, like,
may be some sort of lemur
your
wombat?
games.
Well, whatever they
You
are,
didn't have,
they're
like,
pretty
Mario
good
or
at kicking
Zelda.
the
You
shit
had,
out of
like,
Cragmites
Ratchet and
ended up
Clank.
stopping the Empire by banishing them to another dimension. Well, all except one, and boy would that come back to bite him in the ass.
Raised as
Fair.
one of their own, the last Cragmite betrayed his foster Lombaxes, raised an army of fish
Another
people,
series of games I
and
have
in
never
some
played,
sense
but I
of
have
cruel,
heard good
ironic
things
justice,
about
banished
both
the
of these
entire
series.
Lombax race to their own dimension as well. And just as ironically missed one who would prove to be his greatest adversary.
Understandable.
This lone Lombax's name was Ratchet, and he spent most of his days stranded on a random planet digging around with mechanical stuff and dreaming of one day exploring the galaxy. So this alien kitty cat thing scrounged up all the scraps he could find, used his natural gift with machines, and built a spaceship so incredible it would finally take him off this boring planet once and for... Oh.
Without an onboard robot ignition system, this hunk of junk would never fly.
And with Ratchet's luck, it's not like one was just gonna drop out of the sky or anything. Well, I'll be damned.
This was the SentryBot serial number XJ0461.
Well, that's hard to say in conversation, and he makes a
Was it-
clanky sound when he falls over, so...
Maybe I'll just call you Clank.
Clank had just been assembled
Oh, yeah,
maybe
like,
half an hour earlier. and
Both
was
of these
already
games
running
have
for his life.
really good
Yeah, see, he
cutscene
came from a robot
animation
killing machine-making
for
factory,
their
but
time.
when the factory malfunctioned and made this little guy, it decided
Jack and
to
Daxter
scrap
in,
him for parts. So
in
naturally,
particular
he
has
got
like
the
really
hell
good
out of there
like
and
facial
ended up with
animation.
Ratchet, and together they
Very
became the
like
greatest hero
cartoony.
duo in the galaxy.
While they started out as an unlikely pair, they've picked up all sorts of experience along the way. Ratchet has been trained as a commander.
Jack and Daxter's
and is
also
proficient
funny
in
because
martial
it
arts, heavy weaponry, survival skills,
changes
stealth,
like
Ballroom dancing and
tone
origami.
between
and
the first
despite
and
his
second
diminutive
games.
size, Clank is an asset in combat as well. When paired with Ratchet, he can act as a personal helicopter or even a jetpack.
Also, turns out Clank wasn't a mistake after all.
He possesses the soul of a Zoni, energy-based creatures with the ability to manipulate time and be immune to time-altering effects. And eventually, these powers manifested in Clank as well.
That's right, he's a robo-time wizard.
Who did you say gave you this thing?
The Sony. They are little invisible creatures who travel through time.
Oh, right.
Both Ratchet and Clank are loaded with nanotech, microscopic machines which instantly repair their bodies after any injury, though their number is limited.
But Ratchet and Clank's true strength lies up their arsenal. Ratchet's packing your usual Solana-style weaponry, from his trusty Omni Wrench to rocket launchers. But the real beauty lies in all his wacky weapons, like the Vortex Cannon, which sucks up tiny enemies and blasts them back out like little flaming meteors. The mini-turret glove can deploy dozens of auto-targeting machine guns, which can destroy tanks. And of course, there's also a disco ball, which forces foes to helplessly dance before them.
Ratchet's gadgetry also includes energy shields, close-range shredder claws, and a variety of drones to assist him in battle. He's even picked up a gun that turns enemies into tiny, adorable sheep.
But hang on, we can't forget my all-time favorite, the Rhino 5. Part minigun, part rocket launcher, this beauty unleashes a glorious river of death in whatever direction she's facing. All set to Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture.
I'm honestly
I
surprised you
do
know how to say his
appreciate the
name.
Oh yeah,
ridiculousment
the dude played my favorite musical
of Ratchet and
instrument.
Clank.
What, the piano?
No. Cannons.
The
Oh.
machine gun
Anyway,
rocket
in their
launcher,
adventures,
the
Ratchet and
sheep
Clank have done some
transformation
pretty
gun,
impressive things.
the
They
disco
were skilled
ball.
enough to win numerous gladiator battles, strong enough
It has
to
a sense
stop
of
the blow
humor,
of a
and I
warg
appreciate
rock
it.
with nothing but an
Also,
Omni
like
Wrench,
all of their
fast enough to
early
dodge close-range laser
games
fire, tough
were
enough to survive an
subtitled
explosive
with
shipwreck,
sexual
and even
innuendos.
the vacuum of space.
However, their ability to survive deadly blows is entirely dependent on their supply of nanotech. If they run out of microbots, the next blow is sure to be fatal. But Ratchet and Clank's greatest strength doesn't come from any outlandish weapon or body-rebuilding nanomachine. Rather, it is their unbreakable bond of friendship and teamwork.
Oh, God, that was so friggin' lame.
Robots are not so easily fooled.
Ah, what's that?
What?
Just a boy and his
Long
robot.
before the world bred life, it was filled with Eco. Left behind by godlike beings called the Precursors, Eco came in 6 different types, each possessing a different power. But what became of the Precursors? How did they harness the power of Eco? The answers, they say, lie in the destiny of the mischievous teenage boy named Jack.
Jack was born
Why he got
into
his
royalty
grippers
as the son
out,
of
bro?
King Dumbass.
Put those
Damus.
away.
Dumbass, ruler of Haven City. But Jack lost his future as heir to the throne when some douche named Baron Praxis overthrew his dad. The former king was separated from his son and banished to the wastelands, leaving Jack to grow up a wandering orphan.
Until he was taken in and raised by Samos, the elder of Sandover Village. Here, he met his best friend-to-be, Daxter.
Oh, I don't know why he would ever want to be friends with a guy that never shuts up.
The sage yaps on about the precursors that built this place all the time. Where did they go? Why did they build this crud?
Before long, Jack and Daxter became inseparable and did just about all their teenage tomfoolery together. Like stealing a speedboat to explore the forbidden Misty Island.
Yeah, turns out it was forbidden for a pretty damn good reason.
Ow! Man, that stung.
Oh no, he fell into the weasel pool!
Well, technically, he fell into a pool of dark
The
eco,
weasel
which transformed
pool.
him into an Otzel. Whatever the hell that's supposed to be.
Dexter took it pretty well, all things considered.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
By the way, where's the unweasel pool?
It's not so simple. In order to reverse Daxter's transformation, they would have to find the Sage of Dark Eco. To prepare them for this journey, Samos trained them to harness the power of Eco and, in turn, to become formidable warriors.
With green eco, Jack can restore lost health and create shields. With yellow eco, he can launch energy projectiles from his hands. Blue eco doubles his speed and reflexes.
I don't
and
really
red
have
eco
much to
does
say
the
on these
same for
guys,
his
I'm
strength,
sorry. It's just
allowing
like,
him to take down
I don't
tough
have a
enemies
history
with a
with them.
single strike.
But when they're tinkering
But they
with
go
ancient
over, like,
precursor
stuff
technology
pretty
sent them
well
tumbling into
for
a
both
dystopian
pairs.
Future, it's a long story. Jack was captured and experimented on by Baron Praxis, who wanted to turn him into a super soldier.
Too bad he didn't really know what he was doing, and poor Jack was stuck as his lab rat for 2 straight years, until Daxter finally busted him out. Jack was so happy, he spoke his first words ever.
I'm gonna kill Praxis.
Oh, my first words were beer. Now!
Unbeknownst to Praxis, while his experiments failed to turn Jack into Captain America, they did grant
This
him the
game goes
ability
from
to
like a
consume
Crash
dark eco and
Bandicoot-like
temporarily transform
to
into the
being like a
mighty
dark
Jack.
dystopian
Dark Jack
future.
can use Dark Eco for a bunch of powerful projectiles, and he can even triple in size and strength. On top of that, Dark Jack is also completely invulnerable.
That's right. We bad. You haven't forgotten what I taught you, Jack.
If one super form wasn't enough, Jack gained another when he came face to face with the precursors themselves. And turns out they're all Otzels like Daxter.
Oh my god.
They gave him the ability to consume light eco in order to counterbalance the darkness within.
Never guess what they called it. Give up, it's like Jack.
In this form, Jack can glide through the air, create a force field, regenerate from wounds, and even freeze time itself.
When there's not enough dark or light eco on hand to run around blasting people with godlike energy, Jack wields one of the most versatile weapons.
Oh
ever
yeah, and they
created,
gave him
the
guns
Morph
in the
Gun.
second game.
Powered by different types of eco, it can work like
Hell
a
yeah,
shotgun,
I
grenade
love the
launcher,
early
or
2000s.
minigun. It can fire ricocheting laser shots, homing needles, and even friggin' lightning.
And when Jack sets the morph gun to mass inverter mode, it can blast a wave of dark eco so absurd it alters the very laws of gravity on anybody within its reach.
Yeah, but if that fails, they can just blast them with a supernova. It basically one-shots about anything.
This place has too much excitement. We need to move back to the country.
Armed to the teeth with weapons and eco, Jack and Daxter successfully dethroned Praxis and saved Haven City thanks to several impressive
I also
feats
like
along the way.
Like getting up no
to this
problem
episode's
after being
credit,
crushed in a
I like the
cave-in,
little
or tearing
cut-ins
through
with the
solid
voice
metal
clips.
doors like wet paper. Daxter helps when he can.
Very good
usually by
comedic
steering
timing.
missiles into people, but most of the heavy lifting is done by Jack.
Like the one time he did this.
Jack and Dexter are incredibly resourceful. They won a gladiator-style battle with nothing but an unmodified morph gun.
And their drive to win is so strong they even took first in the Crass City Grand Championship while poisoned.
Even giant terraforming robots trying to destroy the world fall to their teamwork, provided they have enough ego.
They can only carry so much eco at once, roughly under a minute's worth in combat for each color type, and so they rely on replenishing their power by pulling eco from the environment. Also, Jack can be a bit reckless and doesn't always think things through.
Oh yeah, and there were
Even
cars
still,
in the later
don't
games.
underestimate the duo of
Because
Jack
early
and
2000s,
Dexter.
I love it.
It's the last thing a lot of bad guys ever did.
And look at his weird impractical goggles.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, remember that game we told you about last time?
I do, and I don't care.
With old school, right? Get up.
Alright, actual fight time. Bird. The first casualty. Nameless bird.
Oh, that's the last time I let Quark fix the warp system.
Actually, weren't you the one who overclocked the accelerator?
Huh. This is new. Hey, do you have any idea what you've done?
Yeah, hey guys, welcome to our home. Make yourself comfortable on the couch. If you can find what's left of it.
Nah, this isn't so bad. I can fix that.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Mr. Weasel.
Weasel? Well. Looks like it's us.
The Daxter voice is a little bit off.
Bring it.
Take that. And one more for your mama. Get him, Jack!
What the fuck? Get a load of this.
Hey, what? Hey, Fuzzball! You're pissing me off! I got him! Mercy?
No. You're done for. Watch out! Can't keep up. Rest in pieces.
I love one-liners.
Whoa! Ratchet!
Can't you go any faster?
I wasn't designed for this.
Let's try this!
Any more weapons you want to throw at me? Like I need any more. Huh. Well, maybe just one more.
Ratchet, behind us!
Now what?
will say the sound design here feels a bit off.
And curtain.
So yeah, it's pretty good. I don't think it's as good as Dante versus Bayonetta.
Especially when they had
It's
enough
just,
ego on hand. But Ratchet and Clank's better
I don't know,
teamwork,
it's just
superior
missing a
defenses,
few
and
things, I
overwhelming
feel.
arsenal trumped them in the end.
But it's,
Well,
this is
both
still a
had
good
ways to
episode.
patch
I like this one.
themselves up.
I like how they
Ratchet's
use
nanotech was
the
way
Rhino
more
5 more as a
reliable and
set
lethal than
piece
Jack's green ego.
rather than a
And
weapon.
Ratchet's shields and incapacitative weaponry were more than enough to put a stop to Jack's
And the
more
animation,
offensive
as
ego.
usual, is pretty
Take
solid.
that, nature.
Especially
While
for
Jack
something
and
from
Daxter's morph gun was
2016.
one of the most versatile weapons we've ever seen, it absolutely pales in comparison to the sheer size and power of Ratchet and Clank's arsenal.
Jack's best shot was his dark form. But like everything Jack and Dexter had, it didn't take long to run out of juice. Well, Ratchet and Clank had more than enough gadgets and weaponry to keep up the fight.
Plus, Clank is an infinitely more capable sidekick than Daxter, especially his time manipulation and immunity powers.
It was game overture for Jack and Dexter.
The winners are Ratchet and Clank.
Next time on Death Battle.
Right, yes. Okay. This is a fun one, I will say. It's the Flash.
Hey everybody, I'm Chad. I play Boomstick.
I'm Ben, I play Wiz, and thank you so much.
It's Flash versus Quicksilver, because, I mean, here's the DC guy who runs really fast. Let's make him fight the Marvel guy who runs
A
really
long,
fast.
long time ago, mankind began to walk.
And then we ran. And ever since that moment, we've been pushing speed to its very limit. Or in this case, past the point of absurdity.
The Flash, DC Comics Scarlet Speedster.
And Quicksilver, Marvel's fast-talking Avenger.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. From Wonder Woman to Superman, there is no shortage of DC heroes capable of achieving superhuman feats. But only one is truly synonymous with speed itself.
The Flash.
But before he became The Flash, he was only known as Barry Allen.
Like many superheroes, Barry's lacking in the whole living parent department.
One day, after returning home, he discovered his mother had been murdered.
I think The
and
Flash
his father
is
had
one of
been
my
wrongly
favorite
convicted of the crime.
DC
Knowing
heroes.
Dad was innocent, Barry vowed to clear him of the crime and became a forensic scientist for the Central City Police. But dear old Dad died before Barry could set him free.
Racked with grief, this only strengthened Barry's resolve to find his mother's real killer.
And on one fateful night when he was doing some sciencey stuff, he got struck by lightning and then fell into some chemicals.
Now, normally, this would be incredibly fatal. But since this is comic books, Alan was imbued with the power to move his body at incredible speeds and became the Flash.
You're probably thinking, okay, cool, he's like fast enough to run across water now, but there's a whole slew of other benefits that come with his new power. Like accelerated healing, enhanced strength, the ability to absorb kinetic energy from others, a brain that works faster than a supercomputer, and the ability to throw lightning.
It's just
to do any of this,
Flash is
Flash
cool.
draws his power from the Speed Force, Force, an extra-dimensional energy source which, when synced with the living being's bioelectric field, amplifies and distorts their perception and placement in individual time versus time outside their own field.
What?
In layman's terms, it's kind of like the Force in Star Wars, but instead of Jedi tapping into its power, it's comic book speedsters.
I see.
Think of it as its own dimension that the Flash can use as a power source and also enter on his own whim. Plus, it's pretty handy for getting the Flash out of jams when an author writes him into a corner.
Speed Force.
Also, while other speedsters like Max Mercury and Wally West use the Speed Force, Barry is actually the one who generates it. And boy, can he do some ridiculous stuff.
When push comes to shove, he can easily break the speed of light, over 670 million miles per hour.
He once rescued everyone from a collapsing apartment building, then used the public library to learn everything he needed to rebuild the whole place. And then he did it, all before the cops showed up. Oh, and he can run on clouds.
Like, he's very overpowered, but a fun kind of overpowered, where he just does everything really fast.
Speed Force, whiz.
Anyway, his brain is fast enough to perceive events in less than an attosecond. He once called the Justice League supercomputers slow, which, by the way, process at 100,000 trillion calculations a second.
The Speed Force also absorbs damage like a shield, because at this point, what can it do? Make waffles? Probably. He was once blown up by enough grenades to send him flying into a tree, breaking it in half.
To snap a tree like that requires at least 70,000 pounds of force.
Ouch! But he was up and running around in no time thanks to Speed Force healing.
Right, like the time he got stabbed through the leg, but minutes later stood up and ran fast enough to outrace a nuclear blast and break the time barrier. Yes, I said time barrier.
Did you ever hear the phrase New 52?
So
like
stupid.
Where DC rebooted its whole universe and everyone's backstories? Yeah, Flash did that. All of it. Batman's dad told him to.
You'd think time travel would be an awesome skill to have, but not really in Flash's case. While well-intentioned, his hot-headed time-hopping adventures usually end up making things worse.
Like when he tried to save his mom's life and ended up ruining the entire universe instead.
Oh, wait. Did this part get muted for copyright? I didn't know that. But it's just
also, it is
Reverse Flash telling Flash, oh, you broke the time barrier and it caused a ripple effect. It's not really that
power, he's done a lot for a guy who can run really fast.
Also, the Ring having his entire costume inside is stupid.
An amazing man once said, to
Funny,
achieve great things, one must sacrifice stability and push one's limit past sanity. And few people embody those words better than Quicksilver.
Wait, who said that quote?
I did last week when I got my sweet new dune buggy and jumped that lake.
No, you just said, hold right here, and drove it straight into the water.
Well, just come on, stay on topic. Quicksilver goes fast.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess your fake quote kind of applies because Quicksilver's life has been anything but stable. I mean, his origin story is absolutely insanely convoluted. I guess that's what happens when competing movie studios both inadvertently own the rights to the same character.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it. Basically, Quicksilver and his twin sister, the Scarlet Witch, were born Pietro and Wanda to a pair of gypsies named Django and Maria Maximoff. But as babies, they were kidnapped by a guy they call the High Evolutionary. He experimented on the two children and then returned them to their parents. Only now they had super cool powers. But Pietro and Wanda were later tricked into believing that they were the mutant children of Magneto, abandoned by their mother and handed off to gypsies by a cow lady midwife.
What the hell?
I love comic books. I love retcons. It's so
They're
good.
the kids of gypsies, and they have super cool powers.
Well, with all the instability in his personal life, it's no wonder Pietro Maximoff has been known to bounce from alliance to alliance. Like when Magneto saved him from an angry mob, he joined the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, where Magneto gave him his sleek costume and his new name, Quicksilver.
But when Magneto got his ass kicked, Quicksilver joined the Avengers.
Barry from
Because
Pokemon's
what's
last
loyalty
name is
when you
Alan.
can't even keep track of who your dad
Barry
is?
from Pokemon being the Flash would be so funny.
Probably as far away as possible. Well, one benefit in all
If
this
you're
hopping
late,
back
you
and
owe
forth
me
across
a
the line in the sand
$1
is
million.
that Quicksilver's had training and experience
And then
from
he
both
runs
sides of the
faster than
spectrum,
light.
from the likes of Captain America to Mastermind.
But really, when you're fast enough to disappear in the blink of an eye, who wouldn't want you on their team? After all, Quicksilver is all about speed. He can heal fast, think fast, learn fast, and of course, run around really freaking fast.
He can run around an opponent so fast he forms a tornado, sucking away the oxygen.
I do have to watch
He
that
can
still.
easily run on water and maintain speeds of more than 700 miles per hour for extremely long periods of time. And if things are looking serious, he can crank it up even further and become fast enough to outrun a radio wave.
Radio waves are a kind of electromagnetic radiation, and thus travel the same speed as light, meaning Quicksilver can run well over 670 million miles
And I mean, of
per
course,
hour.
they have to put in the
Much
Quicksilver
like Wiz
scene.
seeing himself in the mirror every morning,
One of the best
Quicksilver
scenes in
has
any
survived
superhero
some pretty
movie.
terrifying
It's
things.
so cool.
Yeah, hey, he has taken a hit from some of Marvel's strongest heroes, including Hercules, the god of strength himself.
He doesn't even flinch at the destructive shockwaves made by his own speed. And one time, he ran up a mountain so fast, he accidentally launched himself into an airplane and fell 39,000 feet down into the ocean and survived. Man, that's crazy to think about.
Speaking of thinking,
I like
his brain can process and
superheroes
retain
doing,
information so quickly
like,
that he memorized Beethoven's Moonlight
I like
Sonata
superheroes
by
doing
ear
regular
and could
people
play it
things in
himself
super
in
ways.
just about a minute. A feat which takes an average person years to perfect.
Despite having a taste
Yeah,
for
I've seen a
calming
few
and
of their
refined
videos.
music, he's
Really,
incredibly
really
impatient
good
and
stuff.
has been known to lash out in anger and annoyance.
Why does that sound familiar?
You shut your mouth before I shut it for you!
I rest my case. Quicksilver also has a tendency to run headfirst into danger without thinking things through.
Rest your case? I'll rest your case!
All right, just don't trip on that.
Ah, I hurt my balls! Just finish the rundown!
Well, despite his brashness, Quicksilver is a tragedy-hardened speed freak who I wouldn't cross for even a second.
Oh, I get it. You're supposed to stop me. Go ahead, try. Next time, try a little harder.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time
Alright.
for a death
I just
battle!
want to say, this is a fight that I get a lot of enjoyment out of. I think this fight's very funny. Not in ways that I think were intentional, though. Look, it's Captain America.
Please stay calm, miss. I'm coming up there.
Look out, SNK girl. Or maybe she's from Final Fight? Because there's a bunch of Final Fight people on the ground.
I got her! Wait, who the hell are you? You trying to steal my spotlight?
Seriously? You've been living under a rock? I'm the Flash, all-star hero, fastest man alive.
Fastest? Bullshit, that's me. Let's race to Japan.
Well, what the heck? I got time.
Okay, on the count of 3. 3.
Yeah.
Hey, cheap trick, pal.
I got another one for you.
Because, I mean, like, of course they're gonna have to
That's
make
how
it
we're
a
gonna do
race
this,
to
huh?
some degree. Since, you know, fast. Of course, if they take too long, that woman's going to die, but, you know, priorities.
Catch you later. What a loser.
Hey, man. Did you miss me?
Also, really good conveyance of speed with like the speed lines and the red and blue kind of smeary lines. It's like the opposite of Maiden. Well, no, it is like Maiden Heaven. But Maiden Heaven also makes everything else go really fast, so...
Let's turn this around.
Spin.
What?
Oh, here comes my favorite part. I don't know why, but I love that line read. I love the, god damn it, when he's getting hit by all the birds.
Alright, Flash, so you're fast. But I'm stronger and smarter.
Prove it, tough guy. Okay, this is getting
Yeah,
tough.
with the, like, very... It sounds like he's getting, like, sliced
Flash?
apart.
The hell? What's going on?
You're in the Speed Force. My Speed Force. I'm sure you feel it. The raw energy coursing all around you. This is the source of my power. And here, I am King!
This part's unironically cool, though.
Ew. Well, at least
Flash's
you beat me
iconic
here.
finishing move.
Bye.
Accidentally impaling someone on a samurai statue.
KO! Flash fact: sharp things hurt.
And he made it in time
Fast
to
as
save the
Quicksilver
girl.
is, the Flash is just
Although,
much
since that
faster.
whole thing took place in like
Clearing
less
the
than a
speed of light
second,
is great and all,
that
but
also
the
means
Flash
those
has gone
birds
10
were
times
moving
Which
insanely
would put him at
fast.
more than 6 billion miles
Yeah,
per
this
hour.
one's
Plus,
pretty
Barry can
good.
pull other
It's
people
not
into
like
the Speed Force and fight them there, giving him a home field
stand
advantage.
out, and
In
it's
addition, the Flash's brain
kind
can
of
process events in less than an
stompy,
attosecond.
because
And in case you're
Flash is
wondering,
just
12
ludicrous.
attoseconds is the shortest
But this one's
period
just
of
good
time
dumb
humanity
fun.
has ever been able to measure. This means that while Quicksilver's Beethoven feat proved he can think over 500,000 times faster than an ordinary person, the Flash can think many trillion times faster. He had plenty of time to predict every perceivable action Quicksilver may have taken.
Quicksilver had the upper hand in formal combat training, but when you're fighting someone who can move, think, and act way faster than you, there's not really much you
The
can
thing
do.
is, like, a lot of
You
these
could say
Season
this
3
battle
episodes
was
aren't,
over
like,
in a flash.
atrocious. They're just kind of
The winner is the Flash.
mediocre.
Next time on Death Battle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Oh, and...
Across this nation, the words Gotham City are synonymous with crime.
Wait till they get a load of me.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'm Chad, I play Boomstick. I'm Ben, I play Wiz.
And next time we've got the
Joker versus Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal, which is a really cool series for them to pull from for this.
They visit you for birthday parties, cheer you up when you're sad,
But yeah, clowns.
and probably also want to kill you.
Clowns. The Joker, Gotham's jester of genocide.
And Sweet Tooth, the violent victor of Twisted Metal.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their
But
weapons,
it's like,
armor, and skills
putting
to
the
find out who
Joker
would win
in a video
death
like this is really neat, because he's not a character you think of as, like, a
Gotham City, a vile
fighter.
breeding ground for criminals and crazy people.
In such a bleak
He's more like
city, it's
a
important to look for humor
manipulator
wherever you can,
or a crime
even
boss.
if it's during the act of murder. And no one gets more jollies out of ruthless felonies than the Joker.
I'm here, bitches! And I brought favors for everybody!
But before he became the clown prince of crime, who was he? A thief who accidentally got his pregnant wife killed? A mob boss who stabbed Batman's girlfriend? A petty thug in the wrong place at the wrong time? Nobody knows for sure, not even the Joker himself.
What we do know is that most likely at some point he fell into a vat of mysterious
He's
chemicals
6'5".
and Batman was involved.
Man, he's
However
really
he came
tall.
To be, from that moment on, his body and mind were altered forever.
With a new smile big enough to rival the Grinch, the Joker decided he'd make sure the whole world would share in his sick joke.
And what comedy act would be complete without a few wonderful toys?
This guy may like his pistols, machine guns, and explosives, but outside of that, his taste in weaponry is anything but simple.
Ow! My eye! Sucker!
I mean, how can you not like the Joker?
Like a true prankster gone
He's
mad,
just,
he
it's
carries
such a, like a
razor-sharp playing cards,
cool
a gag flower filled
character,
with acid, an
conceptually.
electric hand buzzer that goes a little too far.
But deadliest and most haunting of all is his trademark Joker venom, a deadly concoction which poisons its victims, forcing them into fits of laughter so uncontrollable that they suffocate and die while contorting their facial muscles into a nightmarish grin.
Talk about killing the audience! Ha 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 ha! Oh! Man, that shit looks dangerous to carry around.
Fortunately for the creepy clown, he's manufactured so much Joker venom over the years, repeated exposure has given him immunity to his own toxin. But the laughing gas isn't all that makes him a threat in battle.
It's gone.
He's a cunning strategist who screws with the minds of the sane and insane alike. He can whip up disguises so convincing that not even the world's greatest detective recognized him. And for a guy this lanky, he's also surprisingly great going fist to fist.
And like most heroes and villains who have been in the game since the 1940s, of course, he has his own car.
Joker
Look
car.
at that thing! God, I really need to get back to work on the boomstick mobile.
The Joker Mobile, as it's
Ugh.
called, was built to
Why does it have
compete
a
with the
tongue?
legendary Batmobile.
It has mounted machine guns, a bulletproof exterior, and a lethal cannon up top that can spew missiles everywhere.
After so many years of terrorizing Gotham and beyond, the Joker has
I mean,
more
they're really
than
just
earned
talking
his
about the
role
car
of
because
sworn
the other
enemy
guy
to the Batman.
has a car,
Despite Batman's ludicrous
but,
skill
like,
and intellect, the Joker's forethought
is
and planning
fun.
has outsmarted Bats numerous times. In some cases, he's even gone hand to hand and held his own with the Cape Crusader.
Who was trained by ninjas?
He's outfoxed plenty of other heroes too, including Superman, whose brain can function thousands of times faster than humans like Joker.
He incapacitated Wonder Woman with just a puff of Joker venom, blew up Robin after viciously beating him with a crowbar, and when he tracked down Batgirl, well, let's put it nicely and say that she became handy-capable from that point on. And thanks to his own insanity, the Joker has stupidly high pain tolerance. The dude got a batarang lodged in his eye and was still running around laughing and shooting people. God damn! That's almost as bad as the time he had his own face cut off for giggles.
That's way worse! Ugh!
Ugh.
He can certainly take the pain, but this sadistic psychopath is still no harder
Gross.
to kill than most of his victims.
He can die from certain poisons, neck snapping, being stabbed by Pirate Batman, getting bitten by Vampire Batman, and even just a good old-fashioned Superman high five.
But one thing remains certain. Having this clown show up for your party would make it one bad day.
Oh, did that part get cut for copyright? Man, I'm noticing that a lot in these
To
old
have your greatest
episodes.
wish granted. How much would you destroy to get your way?
Any extreme!
For those willing to go to any extreme, the annual Twisted Metal contest is right up your alley.
In Twisted Metal, competitors smash vehicles into public property and each other, and that's when they're not shooting crazy shit like rockets and bombs all over the place. God, that'd be fun.
The insane lure of Twisted Metal attracts some of the most deranged and unstable minds in the world. including a clown with a flaming scalp, the driver of the infamous ice cream truck called Sweet Tooth.
Light 'em up, boys.
Before he was a scary serial killer driving a truck, Marcus Kane was a scary ice cream man driving a truck. And like every ice cream man I know, Marcus had a serious evil split personality problem.
Trapped within his head, this sinister side desperately clawed for freedom, eventually forcing Marcus to finally give in and carve his new persona a face. On that day, Marcus Kane died, and the rampage of Needles Kane began.
Needles spent his days murdering anyone he could find, including his own wife and child.
He prefers killing up close and as violently as possible with his giant serrated machete,
which tons of people have been introduced to. They're dead now.
By his own account, he slaughtered 1,000 people.
A lot of backstory for a dude
arrested.
from a
Here he was cursed
demolition
by a
derby game.
Preacher to suffer the fires of hell, which apparently means having your head burst into flames forever.
Enraged, he busted out and was eventually found by a man named Calypso. See, Calypso was the one organizing the Twisted Metal tournament, and he thought Needles would be just perfect for it.
For Needles, winning Twisted Metal meant having any wish of his choosing granted. He could finally end the everlasting pain. Or have all the candy in the world, anything really. How could he say no?
Needles knew just the car that would take him to victory. Complete with tasty treats, his ice cream truck, the Sweet Tooth.
This modified Chevrolet step van is anything but what it appears to be. With its shocking maneuverability and durability,
oh man,
Sweet Tooth is like a
I love
tank,
the old
capable
PS1
of taking
graphics.
Loads of damage without stopping.
Very charming.
The Sweet Tooth menu includes front-mounted spikes, Gatling guns, and homing ice cream cone missiles. And for the cherry on top, he blasts the explosive clown head from the roof as a homing weapon, which laughs and goes through walls. That's not enough, it transforms into a goddamn robot.
The Sweet Bot carries a massive multi-barrel Gatling gun, reinforced armor plating, and can even throw its own head like a grenade.
But the real beauty's in the Sweet Slam, an attack where the bot launches into the air with its jetpack and drops like a hammer with enough force to crush a whole building.
Sweet Tooth can take dozens of missiles and keep on trucking, but even without his wheels, Needles is one tough son of a bitch. He's strong enough to casually shatter reinforced windows, tough enough to take a stab to the face.
And he even survived the electric chair. Doesn't that mean he gets to walk free? I read that on the internet once.
No, first, that's a myth. Second, a person wouldn't be able to walk after getting blasted with over 2,000 volts of electricity, stopping their heart, burning their body, paralyzing their muscles, and melting their eyes. Unless you're Needles Kane, who broke out of the chair, killed everyone, and escaped.
See, this is why anytime I meet a clown, I take him out right away.
When has a clown ever done anything to you?
They've never had the chance.
One thing you might also notice in this season is that they're given a lot more like personality to the hosts.
Like when he wished to find his missing
is
daughter
fun.
so he could kill her, and wound up trapped and suffocating in her coffin. Underground. Because she was already dead.
Still, it just goes to show, Needles and his Sweet Tooth will do anything it takes to get the kill.
What have you done with my son?
Fucking clowns.
All right, the combatants are set.
Yeah, I have heard
Send
it's
this
one of the
debate
like
once and for all.
better
But
video
first,
game
time for some book learning.
shows.
You know, reading.
Great.
200
Audible, Audible.
and
This video is sponsored by
different.
Audible.
Huh.
Anyway,
I like the model, but not really my color.
welcome to Glass Building City.
It's perfect.
Ooh, like taking candy from a baby.
I can't believe this fight starts because Joker stole his ice cream. That is totally something the Joker would do.
many buttons? Eeny, meeny, miny. All of them.
This episode also has really good characterization.
What's this one do? Boop.
Yeah, off the DBX brand truck. Oh.
Really?
You know, that makes sense.
Can't just let a guy have his fun. Okay. Let's go.
Here I come, Scrawny.
All right, let's see
Yup.
it. Come
It's
and
the
get it, tough
Joker.
guy. You miserable excuse for a clown. Come
I mean,
on.
we might actually get Persona 5 Joker in
Come on.
the next season, season 11. Because there's been like, I don't know, maybe?
Ooh, excuse me. I want to drive.
Because I know Joker versus Giorno is a matchup people want.
No! Let me put that out for you.
Shut up and bleed, you mother.
Unironically, Joker from Batman would go crazy as a Persona villain, though.
Oh, my bleed.
Bro, have you looked into Persona scaling at all? It's nutty.
You big guy.
He's apparently, like, omniversal.
Okay. That's funny.
Persona characters are whack, and he has, you know, the big Persona.
Well, okay. Let's talk about this. Killing someone
I mean,
from
fair.
inside a tin can. That's no fun. The cold of their skin, the blankness of their eyes, the reveal of who they really are. So
No,
much
no,
better
Joker
when you
Persona 5. No, no, no.
all the little emotions. Right?
Right. I want to see you bleed. I want to watch you die.
Just one more lesson. Capiche? The best kind of punchline. It's the one you don't see coming.
What is this? Die, 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 die.
That is a really good kill. That cop car just drove through that bush, by the way. Look at it. On the right. New.
Both clowns were skilled in combat, but Joker's superior tactics and unpredictable
This is a
weaponry
fun
gave him
one.
the leg up he needed.
Yeah.
When you have a toxic gas so deadly it can take out the entire Justice League, all the Joker needed was one opportunity to use it.
And despite his lanky frame, the Joker can take a lot of punishment, and he's good enough to survive hand-to-hand combat with Batman.
Hell, he's smart enough to trick Batman and even manipulate the incorruptible Superman into being pawns in his schemes.
As opposed to Needles, whose mental capacity is limited to just
I
one thing.
really like the characterization in
and
this
more
one.
murder with
Like,
a
they
dash of
do
ice cream.
both the characters
The
really
Joker
well.
has plenty of experience
It's obviously not
manipulating
going to be like
minds
the
of
most
homicidal
complex in
maniacs.
terms of like
In fact, many
choreography.
people like Needles have wound up in Joker's gang.
All right.
It was only a matter of
Now-
time before he made his opportunity
Okay.
to use the Joker venom.
Joker wasn't
So
clowning around in this gas of a fight
these
that
have
had
been
us on
these have
pins
been
and needles.
decent so
We
far.
should really put you on a limit.
Oh, come on, Wiz. Those puns were
The-
sweet.
The winner is the Joker.
You'll see.
Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?
Next time on Death Battle.
We dreamed of creating the world's strongest Pokemon. And we succeeded.
Do not attempt to defy me.
Yep. Okay. Now, you know I love Pokemon. And I love Mewtwo. And the episode is Mewtwo versus Shadow. A matchup I actually really like. So believe me when I say I do not like this episode. And that is not an uncommon opinion. This episode is considered not very good. Nothing this season is going to get as bad as the worst of season 1.
Death Battle, our combatants are always
Like,
extraordinary
it's
in one
nothing
way
gets
or
like
another,
offensive.
whether they're a superhero or a plumber.
But these two are literally built to show up the rest of their kind.
Yeah.
Mewtwo, the genetically engineered Pokemon.
And Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form.
He's Wiz and
This is
I'm
the
Boomstick.
second of Shadow's
It's our job to
3
analyze their
episodes,
weapons,
by the way.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Another thing to point
Years
out,
ago, a brilliant
this episode's
scientist named
short.
Dr. Fuji was working to create a
It's
brand
14
new life form,
minutes.
which would change the world.
As opposed
That's
to,
great and all,
like,
but he had
the usual
something else
20.
in mind.
Fuji hoped his experiments would help him discover a way to resurrect the person he cherished most, his deceased daughter, Amber.
With
Oh yeah,
unlimited
Shadow's
resources funded by mob
almost
money, he
definitely
figured out how to clone his daughter's
stronger
ball of
than Mewtwo.
consciousness. Because science.
But before he could finish, he had to create the most powerful Pokemon, a clone of the legendary Mew.
And he named him Mewtwo.
Yeah, Fuji wasn't very creative when it comes to naming, but when you can create a new life form with nothing but a fossilized eyelash,
Sure.
you know you're a master of genetic engineering. A field I'd love to get more experience in myself.
Told you 1,000 times, Wiz. You're not gonna alter my DNA.
What are you talking about? I would never do that.
Always watching, Wiz. Always.
Growing up in a test tube, Mewtwo's only companions were Fuji's
Mewtwo_1
other test
final
subjects,
final.
including Amber herself through some sort of psychic link.
Amber taught Mewtwo about the sun, the moon, tears, and, you know, life stuff. Oh, and also death when she died for good right in front of him.
Worrying this may be too mentally traumatic for the still infant Mewtwo,
various
Dr.
drafts
Fuji's team
of
erased all
Mewtwo.
memory of her. Unfortunately, this left Mewtwo with a feeling of loss and confusion, and no memories to explain why.
With nothing else to do, Mewtwo decided to take out all his aggression on all of humanity. Then he turned some stupid kid into stone, a bunch of Pokemon cried, and Mewtwo figured out humans aren't so bad after all.
Mewtwo is one of the most powerful psychic-type Pokemon, defeating its foes with the power of its mind.
Alright, wait a minute. You keep calling him it. Is Mewtwo a guy or a girl?
Well, neither. Technically, it's genderless.
Oh. How does it bang?
It doesn't.
Bummer.
Shut up,
Well,
Boomstick.
one thing's for sure. It's got balls. Of ghost energy that blow holes in stadiums. Had an onslaught of undodgeable stars, multiple types of defensive shields, and a healing ability.
No
for when those
Mewtwo's
shields
using
don't quite
fucking
cut it.
counter.
Alongside its other abilities,
sorry.
Mewtwo's favorite move is Psychic, a powerful form of telekinesis. With it, Mewtwo can effortlessly send enemies as heavy as a 500-pound Onyx flying through the air.
He can even make himself fly like a Zubat out of hell.
Also, it can augment its melee combat with psychic energy or occasionally a massive
But-
spoon.
Would you say he sometimes
They mentioned
spoons his enemies?
Pokemon Adventures
No,
in this
nothing about
episode.
Mewtwo is cuddly, especially when it
I
uses
want to
Hyper
like
Beam or
this so
Psy-Strike.
bad.
Attacks so strong they can incapacitate the toughest of Pokemon in a single hit.
And when trouble comes a-knocking, Mewtwo answers the door
Shadow
with a
does have the
badass
type
Mega
advantage.
Evolution.
Mewtwo is one of the few Pokemon capable of Mega Evolving without the assistance of a trainer. As Mega Mewtwo Y, it gains enormous boosts in strength, defense, and speed,
making Mewtwo powerful enough to fly into space while
but
carrying
now,
a robot
now see,
bug monster.
when it's Mega
Fast
Evolved,
enough to
Shadow
reach
can't put
escape
Mewtwo to
velocity
sleep.
over 25,000
There you go.
miles per hour, over 32 times the speed of sound.
So, really, really fast.
Mewtwo is so skilled in its psychic prowess, it can wipe specific memories from dozens of people at once.
On top of all that, it can survive a massive amount of abuse, like the time it got double impaled by an alien Pokemon's tentacles. Didn't they censor that?
It effortlessly defeated most of the Pokemon Champions team, including a
And like,
legendary Articuno.
there's
It also
feats from
teleported an
Pokemon
entire
Adventures in the
clear lake
sidebar. Ugh.
This lake is comparable to a similar body of water in the real world, Lake Kilauea, which holds over 385 million tons of water.
Wow, that's almost enough power to lift my ex-wife on buffet day.
Being a psychic Pokemon, Mewtwo is naturally weak to bug, ghost, and dark-type damage. Strange Dr. Fuji didn't pull that code out of his DNA, but whatever.
Hey, you gotta have some sort of failsafe when you're making the world's most powerful Pokemon.
Ah yes, the ultimate failsafe against the most powerful psychic Pokemon. Bugs!
Oh, God!
Shadow's gonna, like, throw a handful of mealworms at Mewtwo, and that's gonna defeat him.
I was created, and my creators have used and betrayed.
Yeah, I think the public has gotten to the point with Shadow the Hedgehog where we're like, no, it started with Shadow's so cool, and it's like, ugh, Shadow's too tryhard and lame. Now it's like, no, Shadow the Hedgehog is unironically kind of cool.
Years ago, a brilliant scientist named Professor Gerald Robotnik, the grandfather of Sonic's forever balding nemesis, worked to create a new life form which would change the world.
It was called Project Shadow, a covert government operation to discover the secret to immortality. Besides, you know, like diet and exercise, cause fuck that.
In Professor Gerald's case, specifically for his granddaughter Maria, who was dying as a result of neuroimmune deficiency syndrome.
Now that I think about it, Project Shadow is a pretty scary name for a program that's all about curing diseases and saving
It's just
humanity.
then they put him in a game where
Maybe
they
it
gave
has
him
something to do
guns and
with the
made him
program's
swear,
secret pact with a
which was
hive-mind alien race called the
even
Black
back
Arms.
then a bit much.
Perhaps.
Okay. So what do you get when you take immortality
And they wanted
the cure
people to
of all
take it
diseases,
seriously, which is the
aliens,
other
and put them
problem.
all together to make the ultimate life form? You get a hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog was the first step toward a perfect future. And during his time in Gerald's space laboratory,
Oh my
Shadow
God.
and Maria grew very close.
I mean,
Until they were separated by a
you're
bullet.
probably
Turns
right.
out the governments of the world weren't
I
too
have
fond
not
of all
seen
the
Has
evil
Been
alien
Hotel,
business,
so I can neither
they
confirm
stormed
nor
the place,
deny.
captured Shadow,
But based
and
on what I
killed
know,
Maria right in
you're
front of him.
probably right.
50 years later, Shadow escaped and decided to take his revenge by just killing everyone. Until he remembered Maria's last words were pretty much, "Don't be a dick," so he changed his mind.
Now on the side of good, Shadow dedicated himself to protecting the world from the forces of evil.
Turns out fighting the bad guys isn't too hard when you've got super strength, super speed, helped along by some awesome rocket shoes, and a bucket of deadly chaos powers.
By channeling the potentially unlimited power of the Chaos Emeralds, Shadow can enhance physical attacks, heal over time, and strike with powerful energy blasts. And with the power of Chaos Control, he can warp
Slander.
through space and distort time, slowing it down to a crawl, or with enough power, freezing it completely.
He's got so much power, he can only contain it all with 2 inhibitor rings around his wrists. Unless he gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds, which he can use to transform into a Super Saiyan Shadow. Super Shadow, yeah. As Super Shadow, he is completely invulnerable, can move at the speed of light, and has unlimited access to the power of the Chaos Emeralds.
Enough power to stop the space colony Ark's collision with Earth, and to teleport a giant comet the size of a city. Assuming this rock is half hollow and using the density of concrete as minimum base, this black comet must weigh at least 915 million tons.
Even without his super form, Shadow is powerful enough to wipe out an entire alien fleet in one blast, fast enough to reach hypersonic speeds, and strong enough to play tug-of-war with a giant space monster who is so big he uses a planet a tenth the size of our moon as a chair. Naturally, when you've got this much power, you're probably a cocky dick.
Yes, Shadow is
He can
excessively
skydive without a
confident in his
parachute.
abilities.
That's his.
Also, he has a terrible memory.
This guy's spent most of his life wondering who the hell he is. And even when he does remember, he usually winds up losing his memories later anyway. To be fair, if I fell from outer space and all I lost were my memories,
And with
consider
them
it a
bringing
really
that
good
up,
day. I mean,
you
I lose them from
might
just
be able
falling
to
over at
see
the
where
bar.
this is going.
That's probably not because of the fall. Also, we can't forget that the Super Shadow form only lasts so long.
Then again, when you move at light speed and have control over space and time,
Boop.
who cares about time limits?
Not usually a problem for the ultimate life form.
Many years ago, Professor Gerald Robotnik endowed me with the power of chaos control. A
Uh,
normal
it's
creature
me,
like yourself doesn't
Shadow
stand
the
a chance
Hedgehog.
against me.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and
Yeah,
for
he
all.
kicked him with his
It's
feet.
time for a death battle!
So this beginning part isn't bad, except for that Mewtwo art that they took from a Super Smash Bros. Fan game.
Get away!
You are not welcome here. Leave this place.
What's your problem, freak?
I know not its
You
name,
might notice a problem
but it is
already.
black, red, and very annoying.
This'll stop you!
Another gem? What's he doing?
Chaos!
I must know. No!
Control!
Shoutouts to half this background just being gone. That's not supposed to be green.
Ha ha ha! Good try, monster, but you're done!
Too much.
Chaos!
Not this time.
Control! Maria. Wait, where am I? Oh my god, I'm glowing! Why am I glowing?
Sayonara.
I love spoon.png.
KO! You know, Wiz,
So-
when we started Death Battle, I don't think we
Yeah.
ever saw someone die by spoon.
Yeah, Shadow
Um,
may have had the
all
advantage
right.
in pure speed and power, but this time, Brain defeated Brawn.
Mewtwo got the rundown on all Shadow's abilities simply by reading his mind, giving it the knowledge it needed to counter or avoid crazy powers like Chaos Control.
So, like,
Ultimately, there was nothing really stopping Mewtwo from just taking over Shadow's mind, and its impressive durability and healing power bought it enough time to do so.
Pretty hard to win a fight when your opponent can make you forget what you're doing and who you are. in
yeah,
an instant.
like,
Shadow has been
that's
mind
one of the
controlled
problems
before,
with
and has
this
always
is
relied on
that
outside help to recover. Even while Super Shadow
Mewtwo doesn't
was
really
physically
animate,
invulnerable,
which I
his
guess
form didn't protect his mind.
kind of makes
Like that
sense
time
for
he fell from
Mewtwo,
space,
but
and
at the
then
same
worst
time,
thing
it
ever happened.
doesn't really make the
Yeah,
animation
Shadow was
good.
gonna lose sooner or later.
You might have
The
also
winner
noticed
is
Shadow's
Mewtwo.
voice sounded a bit weird. So
Next time
they
on
still
Death
had
Battle.
I'll explain after the next time, because the next time is interesting.
Hey, yeah? You ever wonder who'd win in a fight between Carolina and the Meta? No? No, only hopeless nerds on the internet care about that kind of crap. Yeah, why do you think I'm asking you?
Alright, so, let me finish my Mewtwo vs. Shadow discussion. So, Shadow sounded a bit weird in this episode. They had, Curtis Arnott, Takahata 101, back to voice Shadow, but they told him to purposely voice Shadow bad to match his performance in Sonic Adventure 2. Which is... like, they told him to do a bad job on purpose. Like, I don't know what else to say there. It's not quite like... the entire episode just feels kind of disrespectful towards Shadow, and I think that's people's main problem with it. Is that, like, they give Mewtwo all this stuff and all this benefit of the doubt, and then they kind of just brush Shadow aside, and it's not quite character assassination, but it's still, it just feels off. But anyway, yeah, I mean, they just told him to kind of do the voice a bit different and be like, make it all like hammy and weird. I don't know. It's odd. But yeah, the next one is Meta versus Carolina. So this is less of an actual episode and more of a crossover between Death Battle and Red versus Blue. So again, this was before Death Battle was integrated into Rooster Teeth. But this is supposed to be like an, I guess, sort of in-universe thing, where they collabed with Rooster Teeth to do a thing. And so this episode's kind of different.
Who would win in a fight? Now, if that's not the most popular question asked around Project Freelancer, I don't know what is. Oh, no, wait. It'd probably be, hey, where do these AI keep coming from? Or, have you noticed that we're looking pretty evil lately? Anyway, there's been plenty of action-packed punch-outs and kick-ass karate matches over the years, but we never really saw a matchup between two of our heaviest hitters, Carolina and the Meta. Let's see if we can do something about that.
Hey. Yeah? You ever wonder who'd win in a fight between Carolina and the Meta? No. Only hopeless nerds on the internet care about that kind of crap. Yeah? Why do you think I'm asking you? Come on, picture it. It'd be totally badass. Well, yeah, I guess. Carolina would definitely win, though. Bullshit. You're just picking her because you're scared of girls. Meta's way scarier.
The Mets, baby.
Oh, I didn't realize scariness was the deciding factor in a fight to the fucking death. Genius. Hey, Reds! What are you talking about? Oh, Griff was just asking what would happen if Carolina and Meta fought. By who? One another. Another who? What? What? Just ignore it. Oh, you mean Death Battle. I mean, sure. Oh, awesome! Hang on, I know some smart people that can help. Be right back! Do you have any idea what he's talking about? No, but I do know that you're still fucking wrong. Okay, I'm back. That was fast. Yep, I call command and they get two of their best scientist fighting people to help us. Their best. Really?
And that's how you write your name in Buckshot.
All right, enough screwing around. We've got a job to do.
Oh, fine.
I think you're forgetting that command's best is just a step up from incompetent. They sent us Donut. I rest my case. Introducing Jizz and Broomstick!
Jizz and Broomstick.
It's Whiz and Boomstick. Wow, those are the dumbest names I've ever heard. Franklin Delano Donut. And I retract my previous statement.
Yeah? Well, you've got the dumbest face I've ever seen.
I thought you were supposed to be smart. I'm wearing a helmet. Oh my god, me too!
Alright, so how you guys do this? You just, like, draw names out of a hat? Cast some chicken bones around? It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Why did you say it like that? Just watch.
So yeah, this it's more like a funny Red versus Blue episode with Death Battle like intersected into it.
Blue, there was Project Freelancer. The freelancers were highly
I do
trained
want to say
soldiers with
I'm not
experimental
a Red
weaponry
vs.
and a
Blue
mission
fan. I haven't
so
seen a
secret,
single episode.
Not even they knew what
But
it
this is
was.
pretty cool.
Kinda stupid in hindsight, but these were true soldiers. The biggest and strongest of them all was Agent Maine.
Maine was the muscle of the team, relying on his brute strength, wrestling styles, and his unwavering ferocity to intimidate and crush his foes.
While he likes carrying an M6G Magnum pistol into battle, he really likes a certain alien grenade launcher he stole, the Type 25 grenade launcher, aka the Brute Shot. I mean, seriously, look at this thing. It's got a blade and can fire up to 4 rounds in 3 seconds. Let's test that, shall we?
Hey, that's mine! Give it back! Ah! Ah!
Well, in conclusion, I love this thing. So the guy was a badass
I believe
fighter.
this also makes
Too
Whiz and
bad
Boomstick
Project
canon
Freelancer
in
ended
Red
up
vs.
turning him
Blue.
into a monster.
Long story short, the director of Project Freelancer received a rare artificial intelligence for testing.
The director imagined an army of super soldiers paired with AIs, but he could only get the one.
Being the resourceful scientist he was, the director decided to torture the AI, forcing it to separate its raw emotions into multiple personalities to save itself. These personalities were captured as individual AI fragments and paired with different freelancers. Trust me, that's science.
Maine was given Sigma, the AI fragment representing ambition and creativity. And apparently, being creative means you're fucking evil.
Desperate to gather his fellow AI fragments and reform into a perfect AI, Sigma manipulated and brainwashed Maine, turning him into the murdering psychopath known as the Meta.
The Meta went on a rampage, betraying his fellow freelancers and stealing their AIs. He was like the Predator, but bigger, meaner, and with tons of overpowered equipment.
His domed energy shield creates a nigh-impregnable force field.
It can block bullets, explosions, and even shells from tanks. Allow us to demonstrate. Here's Griff inside an energy shield.
Yeah, so?
And here's a tank operated by Caboose.
And what could go wrong? Oh, shit. Fire in the hole, ain't blind! Phew.
Let's try that again, Blue Buddy.
Yes, sir, Captain Notepad. Huh? Wait, it ran out of...
Now, if the energy shield had been there, Griff would have been fine.
Wow! Science is fun. I've said it for years!
As if that weren't enough, the Meta's active camouflage
See, I
turns
like-
him practically invisible.
I don't
His
get all
strength
the
boost enhancement
references,
grants him,
but this is still
super
fun.
strength, and most
I like
impressively,
it.
his temporal distortion device can slow time to a crawl.
He can turn invisible and stop time? This guy sounds unstoppable.
Unfortunately, running so much equipment alongside so many AI fragments consumes a lot of power. But that hasn't stopped him from killing several freelancers and stealing 7 other AIs.
Not to mention, the dude can take a hit and keep on going, even when that hit is taking 9 shots point blank to the neck. Man, and I thought my voice made my throat hurt. No wonder he never talks.
The only thing that could stop him was when a couple of idiots stabbed him in the chest, tied him to a car, and threw that car off a cliff into the freezing ocean.
But let's be fair, Wiz. That's a pretty fucking hardcore way to go.
Hey, wait a minute. Where'd you get all this footage? Have you been spying on us?
Don't worry about it. Leading the troops of Project Freelancer, Agent Carolina was supposedly the best of the best. She commanded the team through many successful missions, mastered several martial arts, and her top spot on the leaderboard seemed untouchable.
Until a mysterious stranger showed up out of the blue and ruined everything. But we'll get to that later.
Master Chief.
Carolina carries a wider variety of weapons than most freelancers. Over the course of her career, she's favored the standard Magnum pistol, dual plasma rifles, a grappling hook which can operate in outer space, a humbler stun device which is basically a shock baton, and a long-range BR-55 battle rifle. It's not as flashy as a shotgun, but it's got an impressive range of over 3,000 feet.
Ow! Why me?
It just feels right.
Like many other freelancers, Carolina also possesses an AI companion. Several, actually, but for this matchup, we'll be focusing on the time she spent with Epsilon, the memory of the original Alpha AI the director fragmented. It's also known as Church. Like the other AI fragments, Epsilon experiences time 205 times slower than a human being, and therefore drastically speeds up Carolina's thoughts and reaction time.
Too bad he's kind of an asshole. And by kind of, I mean that's basically his thing.
Guys, I'm an asshole.
In her post-freelancer career, Carolina made it her mission to track down as much experimental armor equipment as possible. And let me tell you, she did a pretty damn good job. Like Maine, she managed to acquire the domed energy shield, but also picked up adaptive camouflage, a speed boost, and a healing unit.
Unfortunately, just one AI fragment isn't enough to run all of this equipment at once. In battle, if Carolina's not careful, she can accidentally push Epsilon too far and essentially short-circuit him.
Yeah, for a leader, she's kind of hot-headed and super competitive. Like when Agent Texas joined the freelancer crew and started showing her up, Carolina started making a lot of stupid mistakes.
There's a lot going on here. Turns out the director was Carolina's father all along, and Tex was actually the AI fragment memory of his deceased wife. Meaning Carolina's greatest rival for her father's approval was actually her own mother.
Red versus blue.
Wait, what?
Spoilers.
You're making that up. You guys
I
didn't
guess.
know that? Where have you been? Pay attention. Yeah, seriously, guys, it's like super obvious. Huh. Suddenly everything makes a lot more sense. Fuck, dude. Remember when all we used to do was stand around and talk? Yeah, good times. Good times. Ow!
Still love this thing.
Regardless, Carolina is one tough woman. She's defeated several other freelancers, saved an entire planet from civil war, and once blocked the shockwave of a nuclear explosion.
She and Epsilon were even skilled enough to track down dear old Dad after he went into hiding, just to help him kill himself. Jeez, that got dark real fast.
I'm your true warrior.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
All right, time for the fight part. Again, I don't have much to say here because I don't really know these characters. But this is just a cool setup.
Time. Oh, yeah, just 0.03 milliseconds too slow. Looks like I'm picking the movie tonight. Ugh.
Can it not be another garbage action movie?
Oh, come on, they're hilarious. Everyone talks in one-liners and the plot's non-existent. It's like the characters are just there to beat the shit out of each other. Uh-oh.
What is it?
I think we're about to have company.
Name?
Not exactly.
The last one. Take it.
The Mets, baby, let's go.
If we win, you can totally pick the movie. Not working!
I can see that.
Another custom music track.
You sure you can't set that thing to kill? Just hold on!
front. All of them. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Huh? Shit. Damn it. Okay. Focusing on the healing unit. I got you. Carolina, can you hear me? You got him! Okay, seriously, what the fuck? Hey, wait, hold up. Hey, so I know you're about to pummel her ginger face in and all, but you also only talk in grunts, so I'm just gonna say this one line for you, okay? Just this one time. Oh! Son of a bitch!
KO!
Church? Yeah? No action movies. Holy shit! I know! He did not even have a head under his helmet! He was a ghost the whole time!
I told you!
Like Bruce Willis. Bullshit! Meta's stronger. He should have won.
Not true, Griff. As the freelancer leaderboard proves, strength isn't everything.
Carolina's mastery of
This
martial
is
arts
just
let her
a
hold her
good
own, and her
episode.
use of
Like,
equipment allowed her to match
it
and
doesn't
even
blow me
counter the
away. I know
metas.
some people
He may have
really,
gained an
really
upper
like this
hand with
one.
his temporal distortion,
I think it's
but
just fine.
Carolina's healing unit quickly repaired damage
Nothing
done during the
like
attack.
extraordinarily good, but nothing like nothing bad about it.
Carolina tried to use all
I
of
do
her
like
equipment at once and failed. Luckily, she had Epsilon
I do like
to
the
change
dynamic of
tactics and
having
focus on recovery.
one character that is two characters that banter back and forth versus a character that doesn't talk. That's funny.
And artificial intelligence.
But yeah,
The
just
meta was
solid
brainwashed and
animation,
manipulated by 8
good all
different
around.
AI, effectively filling his head with an unintelligible mess of voices and commands. In contrast, Carolina and Epsilon work together as partners with a mutual trust, both capable of making judgment calls to make up for each other's weaknesses.
Whatever. I still say it should have been the meta. Says the guy who can't tell the difference between a car and a Puma.
I can tell the difference. It was a matter of comparison.
The meta just couldn't get ahead of his competition.
The winner is Agent Carolina.
Hey, what in Sam hell are you boys doing in here? Fraternizing with the Blue Devil and a... Who the hell are these dirtbags? Whoa, easy there, sir. We're just here from command.
Hey, nice shotgun. I like the cut of your jib.
Well, what do you know? Someone who has an eye for the finer things in life.
Oh, you better believe it.
You know, you remind me of someone. Almost like the son that I never wanted.
Oh, that's funny. I was about to say you're like the pappy I never had. When I was a kid, he ran out on us to join the army and never came back.
Huh. Well, how about that? Time to move along, I guess. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, I agree. Not simply, it's just not really for me. But it's, again, it's not bad.
What a nice guy.
The most important thing about this episode is learning that,
We had an absolute blast
holy
working
shit,
on the
loud.
episode.
Is
If you
learning
haven't
that
already, be
Boomstick's
sure to check
dad
out the full
is
series of
Sarge
Red
from Red vs.
on
Blue.
roosterteeth.com.
Do they have a next time? They
If
do
you
have a next
enjoyed
time.
this episode,
Okay.
please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.
And follow us on social media so you're up to date on the latest death battle details. Just follow the links in the description.
Thanks for watching.
Next time on Death Battle.
Target acquired.
I thought the pop-up ad was censoring her butt. Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, if you couldn't tell, because there's pop-ups. Next is Cammy versus Sonya, Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. This is another really short one. I think this will be our last one for the night. Cammy versus Sonya. And this is another one that's also, well, it's even shorter than Mewtwo versus Shadow. So,
Tournaments these days
that
seem
should
to
tell you
attract all
something.
sorts, don't they?
And yet there's always a few seemingly ordinary people brave enough, or stupid enough, to step into the ring.
Like Cammy White, Street Fighter's assassin turned British secret agent.
And Sonya Blade, the Special Forces General of Mortal Kombat.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
Sonya from Danganronpa. God. When are they going to put a Danganronpa character on Death Battle? I know Monokuma versus Koro-sensei from Assassination Classroom is a popular request, so maybe we'll get that eventually.
Like a knight?
No, Wiz, the horse that moves like an L. Come on, learn
Sorry,
your chess.
I'm talking over their A-tier humor.
Not only was she Bison's top bodyguard, but also the leader of his dolls, a group of brainwashed teenage girls trained to be ruthless, unstoppable assassins.
What happens if all their cycles sink?
Her leadership roles
Toko
come not
would be
just from her
hype.
skills as a killer, but also because she just so
I
happens
personally
kind of
want to see
Bison himself.
Izuru Kamakura on Death Battle, because he could just literally do everything else that every other Ultimate in the series can do.
I have a lot of questions.
Cammy served Bison blindly until she met
And
the
there's some
mystical
like
Yogi Dhalsim,
actual
who used
nutty
his
like
power to grant
combat
her
stuff
something she
in
never had,
like spin-off
willpower and
material
self-awareness.
Realizing
that he would be
Bison
able
is
to do.
actually the bad guy, Cammy joined the Delta Red British Special Forces and the fight against Shadaloo.
With her training from both camps, Cammy is deadly up close with ruthless sweeping attacks.
There's also
keeping her
Mukuro
foes on the
Ikusaba,
defensive.
She can
the
rush
16th
like a
high
drill
school
with spiral
student
arrow.
hiding somewhere
A move
within the
so agile
school.
it passes under projectiles.
Watch out for
her
her.
hooligan approach flips through the air like some sort of deranged spider monkey to lay the smackdown in a ton of ways, like the fatal leg twister, which is fatal.
She also uses her Cannon Spike and Cannon Strike to control the flow of battle.
And like most cannons, Cammy's signature attacks have higher caliber versions.
Well, being a clone of Bison, she does have latent psychopower abilities, a dark energy fueled by evil and hatred.
Sure, but I was talking about her EX and super moves.
Oh, of course, like the deadly Cross-Stinger Assault.
I've also
or the
seen
Cammy-Quick combination.
Junko Enoshima versus William Afton as a
With which she
request.
snaps her opponent's bones not once,
Junko versus
not twice,
Springtrap,
but 3
which
times.
is
She's also
interesting.
An expert knife thrower, agile enough to dodge
Not really
bullets,
my
and
preferred
for a
matchup, but it would be
134-pound
awesome.
Secret Agent Barbie is pretty damn strong. I mean, she can kick cars to death and stood up after falling
Sorry,
out of an
I'm
airplane.
talking over
She survived
their
blows from the world-class boxer
review
Balrog,
of
a fighter so strong he once killed an
everyone's
elephant
favorite
with a
Cammy.
single punch. Elephants are known to frequently smash down trees with their skulls, which means they can withstand a force of over 10,000 pounds.
That's like getting hit in the face with a truck.
Unfortunately, despite being a clone of one of the deadliest people on the planet, Cammy isn't a perfect warrior. Her control of psychopower in particular is
I
extremely
like
limited
Cammy.
at best, usually only manifesting during times of extreme rage. And many of her moves can leave her vulnerable.
She actually
if
is one of these
misfired.
Street Fighter characters that
Still,
has
I'd think twice
a bit more
before picking a
backstory
street
to
fight
her,
with Cammy
given
White.
her history
She's
as like
got
a
legs
doll
and
for
she knows
Bison.
how to use them. And damn, what an ass!
Ah!
I know. Take your $5. Still worth it.
Told you couldn't go the whole script without mentioning it.
Wiz, if I could die and come back, it would be as that leotard.
You can skip the trip down memory lane.
She is British though, so I have to take
Tell
some
me who
points
you
off of
want me
her
to
for
kill.
that.
As a young girl, Sonya Blade idolized her Marine father. and
Meanwhile,
enlisted to
here's
follow
everyone's
in his
favorite
footsteps.
Mortal Kombat
By the
character,
age of
Sonya
26,
Blade.
she was a member of a U.S. Special Forces unit in pursuit of the criminal Kano.
Which ended up being a lot more trouble than she expected when she found herself in a tournament fighting gods, demons, and monsters, all while movie star Johnny Cage tried to get in her pants.
This was Mortal Kombat, a tournament decreed by elder gods where a realm, or alternate dimension, may challenge another realm for world-conquering rights. Sonya joined the Defenders of Earthrealm to stop the evil Shao Kahn's world domination.
We need to watch the
and
Mortal
succeeded.
Kombat movie together sometime
Most of them died,
as a group.
except for
That
Sonya
would,
and Johnny,
that
of
would be a
course,
fun
who married
activity.
and had a kid. Lucky Johnny, I'd love to settle down with a lady that has such an impressive resume in kicking ass.
Sonya has decades of combat experience that's prepared her for pretty much anything. She's fought cyborg ninjas. Her Kenpo and Taekwondo training emphasizes speed, agility, and defense, and she shows her mastery by leaping into the
Only
air,
the first one, though.
grabbing
I've heard the
foes with her
second
legs,
one's
and slamming them down
not
in a backflip faster
good.
than the blink of an eye.
She's got Cali sticks, a wind blade, frag grenades, smoke grenades, stun grenades, and a garrote wire for silent kills. But my favorite is her high-tech bracelet, which lets her hover in the air and shoots lasers!
It even controls a remote drone, complete with a cutting beam, perfect camouflaging systems, machine guns, even RPGs.
I think I'm in love.
With what? The drone? Sonya?
Dronia.
I think twice about that, though. Most guys wouldn't dare lock lips with a woman who has moves like Fire Kiss, Crush Kiss, Slice Kiss, Poison Kiss, or the Kiss of Death.
Yeah, plus she's strong enough to rip a guy in half with just her legs. And I don't know if I want to be in between that.
In the early 1800s, it was common practice to tie criminals between horses, which pulled them apart. Except even four horses playing tug of war don't often have the strength to rip people in half. Yet Sonya can do so with ease.
Impressive. Almost as impressive
Yeah.
as karate chopping a steel anvil in half.
I think
It's as ridiculous
Matt
as it
McMuscles
looks.
did a
Assuming
What
the
Happened
anvil is made
video
of common steel, it
on
would take over
the second Mortal Kombat
90,000
movie,
pounds
I
per square
believe,
inch of force to break.
which is a very
To
good
compare,
watch.
1969 boxing champion Ernie Shavers delivered the strongest punch in boxing history at 1600 psi. Meaning, Sonya's punch has over 56 times more power than the hardest hitting boxer ever known.
No wonder she was strong enough to take down Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Jax, and even Quan Chi, ruler of the Netherrealm, back to back.
Of course, throughout decades of military experience, she has made plenty of mistakes. Her short fuse has gotten herself and her troops in trouble more than once. And while her tech and weaponry lets her keep up with otherworldly warriors, a smart opponent can use her over-reliance on gadgets against her.
Still, there's something pretty special about a lady who can rip a guy in half without breaking a sweat.
We need a strategic plan of attack.
I got one.
Combat time! I'm glad they
Alright,
at least
the combatants
included
are
that.
set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
Anyway, let's see how this animation looks.
Suspect in custody.
Uh-oh.
Who are you? You amateur. What organization do you work for?
Let's call it enhanced training.
Get in my way and pay the price.
Spoiler alert, you lose. From my foot to your ass.
Spiral arrow! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! 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 Ha!
These are not the kind of sprites you want to be looking at up close.
Here's a present for you.
Ugh. Like, what the fuck is that?
Get with the program, kiddo.
Won't lose.
Fair. Oh my god. Yeah, let's reuse that render.
Damn.
Oh, hell yeah, more character select renders. Flashing lights warning. Oh god.
Not as tough as you look.
Finish her!
I've got this son of a bitch.
Always gotta be the hard way.
KO! Fatality!
See,
Cammy
I would-
might have had an edge in speed and
I would
agility,
best
but Sonya's
describe
far
this one
superior
as
strength, arsenal, tactics, and
messy.
experience overwhelmed her.
It's just a
Sonya's
bit.
fought opponents who have led
It's a
armies
bit
and
hard to
conquered
look at
worlds,
times,
taken them on back to back.
and there's nothing
Sure,
really
Cammy's done the
stand
same,
out
just
about
never
it.
against quite such an impressive lineup.
Sonya has about 10 years worth of military experience over Cammy, and it's not like she was pushing papers.
It's
all
not
that
like
time. When she wasn't chasing down war criminals
atrocious,
on her
but
own,
it's
she was a longtime leader against multiple interdimensional invasions. Cammy did a lot with Delta Red, but nothing which stacks up to Sonya's resume.
And hey, Cammy's durability of an elephant is impressive. But you know what's tougher than that? Solid steel.
True, and while Cammy was adept at dodging projectiles, she couldn't keep it up against Sonya's large arsenal attacking from multiple angles at once.
Looks like Cammy's only half the woman Sonya is.
The winner is Sonya Blade.
All right, but that's gonna be our last one for tonight.
Next time
But I'll leave you
Death
with the
Battle.
tantalizing hint at who's next.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh God.
No. Tracer. Yeah, Tracer.
Maybe I'll be Tracer.
Careful, Reason.
Hey guys, I'm Ben. I play Wiz. I'm Chad. I play
Overwatch. So yeah, but but before we head out, let's update our tier list, mammoth as it is. So I gotta change this to say Season 3. So I'm gonna say right now, I think so far my top 3, like, these are definitely the top 2 for me so far. Dante vs. Bayonetta is my number 1. And then I'd say, like, do I like... I think I do like this more than Meta vs. Carolina. And then we're just gonna... Yeah. The Joker one was really good in terms of characterization. I like the action in these two a bit more, though. But yeah, Season 3 is such a mixed bag. It's like half of these are good, and the other half are just kind of like, I want to like them, but they all have little things that I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't know, that kind of bugs me. But anyway, next time, next Sunday, we'll finish up Season 3, because Season 3 is really short. It's a short season, only 14 episodes, so we're literally over halfway through. Yeah, we'll finish that up. Next stream, though, will be Thursday, and I'll be streaming more Pokemon. So that'll be cool. But yeah, thanks to everyone who stopped in. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.